These are my top 10 flops in this World Cup. And by flops, I don't mean players who were bad or didn't perform well. I mean players who their performance did not match the expectation people had for them coming into the World Cup. Number 2 will shock you. And at number 10, we have two players, Ronaldo and Neymar. I have them both at number 10 because they are in this list for the same reason. One of the scripts for this World Cup when it was about to start was how it was the last dance for both Ronaldo, Neymar and Messi. Even though we didn't really expect them to perform like they did in their prime, but their experience and leadership should account for something. But their teams ended up crashing out at the round of 16, and that's very poor. And at number 9 is Diomande. Prior to this World Cup, he was the most talked about player on the transfer market. There was so much hype around him, and most of us didn't really watch him because he played in the German league, and this was our only chance to get introduced to this player, and boy did he disappoint us. At number 8, we have the LeBron James of soccer, Christian Pulisic, coming into this World Cup, being hosted by his country, the USA, and being the captain and the main man for the team. You would expect that he would do something like score goals or create magical moments for the team, or even help them go further in the tournament, but he didn't really do much this tournament. At number 7, we have Konate. Yes, he didn't really have much game time. He came in the game against Norway, played like 15 minutes, but in the first game he started, the third place game, his team conceded 4 goals in just the first half. That's very terrible. Real Madrid, you have a player in your hands. At number 6, we have Vitinha, the widely acclaimed best midfielder in the world, Ballon d'Or Vitinha. He didn't really do much in this Portugal team. I'm sensing is this kind of midfielder that requires his other players to be at his level for his work to have any effect. People who don't know him prior to this World Cup, judging him by his performance, won't understand what the hype about Vitinha is all about. And at number 5, we have Gabriel. Gabriel wasn't just a case of the hype versus the performance. In some games, he was just bad. The first game against Morocco, the goal they scored. Against Norway, the 2 goals Haaland scored. That was terrible defending. Come on, Gabriel, you're supposed to be the best defender in the world. At number 4, we have Valverde. Valverde was more or less non-existent in this tournament. Uruguay had one of the most disappointing campaigns ever. 2-time World Cup winners, a country that used to frequent the later stages of the World Cup, ended up crashing out at the group stage. Given that they have world-class players like Valverde, it's very, very disappointing. At number 3, we have Lamine Yamal. Yes, Yamal didn't have a bad campaign at all. He was very good. In fact, in the dribble stats, he was like number 2 behind Messi. He had a very good tournament, but there was very high expectations for Yamal. In fact, most people were ready to push him for Ballon d'Or if Spain had won the World Cup, and now Spain won the World Cup and they can't even solidify that push. I know he came into the tournament with an injury and all, but he didn't really perform the way people expected. He was supposed to be Spain's main man, but judging by his performance, he's not even top 5 or top 6 best players for the Spanish side. So for me, that's underwhelming, and that's why I have him on this list. And at number 2, we have 2 players, Jamal Musiala and Florian Wirtz. The reason why they are number 2 is because I combined 2 players. It has to count for something. Musiala was very rusty in this World Cup. It's almost as if his decision making was lacking. He will have the ball, he wouldn't know what to do with it. People that have not watched him prior to this World Cup will be asking, what's the Musiala hype about? Because he didn't show any signs of it. His dribbling game was off, passes, creating chances. He was just rusty. And Wirtz, I didn't really expect much from him either, but you are playing for a top 10 team in the world, but you didn't really do anything. I know lots of Germans were counting on players like Musiala and Wirtz to make the difference when it mattered, but they didn't step up, and that's why they're number 2 on the list. And at number 1, our biggest flop of the World Cup tournament is no other person but Bruno Fernandes. Coming into the World Cup as the PFA Player of the Year, 21 assists in the league, record-breaking year for you. People would expect that you would turn up, do something. Bruno is the kind of player that on his own he can win a game for a team when they're not playing well, but we didn't see any of that. We didn't see what we know Bruno as in this World Cup. It was almost like he wasn't there, and it was a very bad, poor campaign for him. But these are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments.